Kelly's Eye, brought to you by Ellis Brown Architects.
Peter, let me begin by asking you a question. Can you remember what you were doing on the 30th of June 1989 in the evening?
If that was 6 o'clock in the evening,
Yes.
I was sitting in my car at the bottom of Victoria Street. You were beside me. It was raining outside. You had a stinking cold. Not too sure whether I caught it. And we were looking at the Jubilee clock.
We were. Very good memory. Very good. Unforgettable, I suppose. Do you know we're 900 programmes on today?
Well, it's incredible to think, I was only 41 when we started.
Now you're 78.
No, 18 years of Kelly's Eye is quite something.
It is, isn't it?
So we're going to do the 900th, and I remember, I think Government House was the 100th or the 200th, and then we did the Sefton for the 500th, and we thought we'd have got a meal out of that, but we didn't even get a drink of water. And here we are, the 900th, so I suppose we better get the show on the road.
Yes, well, it's a good place to do this programme today. The sun's shining, we're on Douglas Head.
We are indeed, and I meant to be looking at the building on the right, but in fact it's much better to look at the scene on the left.
Wonderful.
And on such a day, it's so peaceful, and yet ironically, with such peace, there was a time in history when things weren't so peaceful, and the building we're looking at is in fact what is now Manx Radio. It's a building that's changed. It's a building that appeared during times of hostility, because Douglas Head, this area, was requisitioned. 1941 saw the establishment of HMS Valkyrie. The Douglas Head Hotel was taken over. There were 6 Nissen huts built around here on concrete pads, all of which have gone now. And then this building was put up, and it was a school for radar. In fact, it was the only radar school in the whole of the British forces anywhere. It was a flat roof building at the time. It had 18 classrooms in it. So a lot of the walls, I think, were fairly structural in between. And it served its purpose. And then at the end, I think it was the 30th of December 1946, everything stood down, and that was it, finished. And they took down all the radar equipment that was here, and it got shipped away to HMS Collingwood. But can you remember what happened after that to this building?
Well, I think it was taken over by T.H. Colburn, but I'm not certain.
You're right. You tend to forget these things. These red Morris vans with blue and a yellow circle on, and T.H. Colburn through it. Murphy dealer used to make their way up here, because whilst he had the shop in Victoria Street, he needed a large workshop, and this was ideal. And I think around about 1960, for their advertisement in the paper, it had 4 vans lined up on the head road here, looking back the other way. So it's, in fact, had this radio link from the start.
Right.
It was built for radar, then used as radio and admittedly television repairs. Then, of course, Manx Radio moved out of their premises on Loch Promenade, which is rather tiny, and then had the whole of this building to occupy over a period of time. Since then, of course, they put a pitched roof on, because flat roofs can be problematical, and particularly if they're behind a parapet. And it's been
the entrance,
dashed.
Of course. The entrance, yes, it is dashed, but the entrance there is very different from its time in the wartime, isn't it?
Well, yes, you'd have come in at the ground level, I presume, but this you come
that's
in
right,
at
and there were steps alongside.
What in reality is sort of first floor level, and this platform goes out, which on a day like this is terrific. But on some of the days you get up here with the wind and the rain, it's quite a long journey to get that way.
Well, I can tell you why that platform and walkway was built, because Bill Quayle was the chairman of the Broadcasting Commission at the time, and he found it difficult getting in and out of the building, and he thought, oh well, we better have a better system than this. He came to Rural Industries, and they built that walkway in.
And platers didn't make the railings, did they?
I'm sure they did.
Right, okay. Well, it's here, it's our 900th programme. I would like to think it will continue to be the headquarters of the station of the nation. you tend to associate Manx Radio now with Douglas Head, and it's in a prominent position. I just hope the day doesn't come when some developer says I'll buy it and build another skyscraper or whatever, because that, apart from spoiling the headland, it would mean you'll be back in a caravan up at Bellacurry.
Many of the most iconic buildings around the island have been designed by Ellis Brown Architects. Keep up with Ellis Brown today on Facebook or via ellisbrown.in.